Hello, my name's Andrew and welcome to a new episode of SpoilerView where our sole purpose is to discuss movies. So this is gonna be the third episode of our Marvel Cinematic Universe Extravaganza, means that I'm gonna be talking about Iron Man 2. The script was written by Justin Theroux. As well as the first movie, this one's directed by Jon Favreau. I think that his directing was very good, but basically what's important about his direction is that he brought back the same feel from the first movie. Maybe one thing that I have to say about Jon Favreau's directing is that I felt like he tried to make the movie darker, like make it a darker tone, but I don't think the story had the potential to be as dark as I think that Jon Favreau wanted it to be. Of course, in this movie we also have Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Gwyneth Paltrow also returned. I didn't think her acting was very good in this movie, I mean, for a caliber actor like her. They changed Terrence Howard for Don Cheadle in this movie, and I think it was because Terrence Howard had some fights with Marvel, but I think it actually ended up being a very good move because I think Don Cheadle was so much better than Terrence Howard as Rhodey. In this movie we have a much larger S.H.I.E.L.D. presence. Obviously we had Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, so of course we also have Scarlett Johansson, who at first plays this like secretary and assistant to Tony, but in the end we end up knowing that she's the Black Widow, an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and she's pretty badass. Well, obviously had to have Clark Gregg as Agent Coulson. I think his portrayal of Coulson is very cool because he's like this normal dude, like very kind of even dorky, but you know that he's pretty badass. He's such an important part of this universe. We have like two villains in the movie. One is Sam Rockwell. I love his portrayal of Justin Hammer. I mean, he's kind of a polar opposite of Tony Stark, but at the same time they're very similar in some things. They're both kind of assholes. On the other hand, we have Mike Rourke, who played Ivan Vanko. I liked his acting as Vanko, but I didn't think it was excellent. I didn't think it was of the caliber of the movie that it should have been. Yeah, my little brother is gonna believe that that guy is a Russian and he's a badass Russian, but I didn't for a second. I mean, I liked the action scenes with Whiplash, and I think that they made that very cool in the movie. His dialogue was terrible. I didn't like the character that much. They also changed the guy for the soundtrack. The music in this movie is by John Debney. It's good, but he didn't change much from the theme, like the Iron Man theme that they used in the first movie. Another thing is that they ended up using more songs like AC/DC and other famous bands, rather than using original scores for the soundtrack. So I mean, it wasn't anything very surprising. Obviously AC/DC fits very well in this movie, but there's nothing new in it. So now I want to say a few things about the movie that I liked or I didn't like that much. I liked one thing, and it's that this movie amplified the universe. Obviously by the moment this movie came out, everybody knew that Marvel was in it for the big run and that they were gonna make a huge thing out of the first movie they made. Adding to that expansion of the universe, we had in this movie, more than in any other movie I can remember, references everywhere to the comic book Marvel world, to the other movies that had been happening and that would happen in the universe. One of the coolest Easter eggs that we had was the Wakanda little show in the corner of the screen when Nick Fury is debriefing Tony Stark. What makes this so cool is that basically they're accepting that Black Panther exists in this universe. Even if we are not gonna see him in a while, we know that he's there and that he's gonna pop out at some point. In the same scene when Nick Fury is debriefing Tony Stark, they actually show in one of the screens footage of the Incredible Hulk. They actually show the part where Hulk is like in the university, he transforms into the Hulk and he starts destroying everything. The most obvious Easter egg that we have in the whole movie is when Tony Stark finds the Captain America like prototype. I think that's very cool because actually Clark Gregg's character, Agent Coulson, knows perfectly what Tony Stark just found, but Tony just doesn't care about it, so he ends up using it to balance his element creating thing. Again, the Marvel signature, you have to have it at all times. I loved the after credit scene from Iron Man 2 when Agent Coulson arrives in New Mexico and he actually found Thor's hammer. I think this after credit scene was very good because it was in some way the first trailer that we had of Thor. I loved seeing Thor's hammer, but not because I love the hero, but because it was the expansion of this universe seen through the eyes of the character that I love so much, Agent Coulson. For a budget of approximately $200 million, the movie made domestically $312 million, and worldwide it made almost $624 million. Of course, it's a huge monetary success, but if you compare the budget to what the movie made, it actually made less than what Iron Man the first movie made. So I know I think much better of the movie than what the general audience thought of it. Obviously it has some things that could have been better, but I thought that it was very good. Not everybody thought the same. In IMDb, you can see the difference from the first movie to this one. It's got 8% less in ratings than it had in the first Iron Man movie. Rotten Tomatoes has 7.3 when the last movie had 9.3. I mean, that's a ridiculous difference. Metacritic has a 5.7 when the last movie had a 7.9. I obviously don't agree at all with those numbers. My rating for the movie is gonna have to be an 8.7. I'm gonna leave it like that. I like the movie a lot. Obviously, I don't think it's as good as the first one, but it's a good movie. I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. Thanks for watching this episode of SpoilerView. I hope you liked it. Make sure to thumbs up that thing, and if you want to see more of the Marvel Cinematic Universe Extravaganza videos, make sure to subscribe. I'm gonna be posting another one, I don't know when, but I already posted the Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk. Thanks for watching. Bye!